what's up everybody? This is VisitJoan and welcome back to another episode of Robinson Reno. And if you don't know what the frick that is, well, that is the series where I redo the houses of the siblings of Destiny Robinson from the really crummy houses that they had built 2 years ago to somewhat less mediocre houses. No, I'm kidding. They're actually decent looking houses now. So, today we are doing a house for the Westbrook family, and that is Kyrstal Westbrook, which is the Robinsons' youngest child. That is Destiny's younger sister, because Destiny, if you remember, she is the middle of 5. It's girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. So it's Jasmine McCreary, Trey Robinson, Destiny Robinson, Braylon Robinson, and Kyrstal Westbrook. All of them, except Destiny, are married and have children of their own. So this house belongs to the Westbrook family. So it's Kyrstal, Destiny's younger sister, which I already said, her husband, Ty Westbrook, and their 2 children, Ava and Kala. And it's funny because when I decided to make Ava a little bit of a tomboy, when I first created her, I don't even remember when I did this. It was so long ago. But anyway, I came back, I'm like, okay, I need to refamiliarize myself with the kid so that the incident with Braylon's kid doesn't happen again. Well, so I look at the tomboy, and she had like really short hair and a t-shirt, so I just assumed that she was a boy. But for some reason, I don't remember, I kind of went into create a sim for some odd reason, and then I was looking and said Ava, and I'm like, oh my goodness, she's a girl. Well, I guess that could work. Yeah, so I misgendered my own Sims. Somebody punch me in the face, please. But anyway, you guys, it wasn't that big of a deal because what I had, kind of worked for her, and I kind of designed the room for a boy at any point, but of course any Sim could use it if they want, so, it wasn't that big of a deal. A girl can have a dark blue room as well, but I completely forgot that I decided, most of Destiny's siblings, they have, family with boys and girls, and this family is only girls. So that was my big screw up this time around. It won't happen in the future though, because this is the last one of Destiny's siblings that we're going to be doing a house for. There's going to be one episode of Robinson Reno after this, and that's going to be for Mark and Sheila, Destiny's parents. And that's going to be an interesting house, because it's for an empty nest couple who basically, their children come and stay with them at times, so there's going to be like a kid's room, but we're not talking about them right now. We're going to be talking about, Kyrstal and them. So, this time around, I didn't have a reference picture or a floor plan I was working off of. I created this house completely from scratch, so if it looks a little weird, please understand, I am not the best at creating houses from scratch, guys. So, there was actually one point in the middle of the video where I was just looking at this house like, what's going on? Do I really like this? Do I really like the way it looks? Does it really look that, ridiculously stupid? And I do believe I did cut that out. So you don't have to stare at me staring at a house for like 5 minutes. But I do think that it turned out pretty well, especially the inside, because I did have some problems with it. There was a big gap in the middle that I couldn't figure out what the heck to do with. And so I asked a lot of people on Twitter. You can go follow me. I'm at VisitJoan Videos. But I asked about it on Twitter, and I got actually a lot of different responses. So thank you so much if you are somebody who responded to that, or if you even thought about it, thank you. I really appreciate the support. But anyway, as I'm doing the floor plan here, you will definitely get to see the problem as to what I was doing. You see this space is absolutely huge. So I decided in the end to go with, I looked at their traits, which is probably why, I went into Creative Sim in the first place. But I was looking at their traits, and it turns out that Kyrstal is a music lover. So I decided to give her like a little piano and a little fence in the middle of the house, and then I put some seating areas like some people had suggested, and then I put some family photos in there. And that was it, you guys. That was, I had figured out what to do with that space. So again, thank you so much if you're someone who did reply to that. I really appreciate it. And now I'm going to tell you another funny story of what happened when I was, playing with the family, because I always play with the family in every build I do just to kind of play test it and just to see what works, because, I may not play with every family, or even if it's like, if it's a family I start with just a couple, I will kind of play out their story a little bit, or as much of their story to my ability that the Sims allows. But if they aren't, just a couple, it's just a family, I will kind of, just play out just a little bit just to test the house and everything, because in my save files I build everything myself, the houses, the family, everything. So I was playing with them, and Ty is a detective. Now I don't know why I made him a detective. I really don't. I don't know if the game just randomly did that. I've never heard of it doing that, but apparently he's a detective. And so I decided, okay, well, I'm going to try this career out because I've never actually played as a detective. I know, Get to Work has been out for how long? But I've only had it since October 2018, and I've never played as a detective because OCD kind of prevents me from doing that. I didn't know what kind of crimes would be, have happened, but it doesn't look like anything serious, although he's just beginning in his career, so it was really just a bunch of whatchamacallit. Okay, seriously, is this really the second time I am doing that? Oh, yeah, that's because, here's the thing. I record the end at the beginning, so I've already seen all of this once, and that was 2 seconds ago. So I'm like, oh my goodness, did I have to do that swatch of, dirt 3 times when I only really had to do it twice because for some reason it just disappeared between when I left the the house one time and then came back the next day or something like that. It was just randomly gone. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm like, okay, I will go ahead and play the detective career. So I go with him to his job. And, it turns out that because he's pretty much at the beginning level of the detective career, he's an assistant to somebody else that's trying to solve a case. So he gets assigned his case, and it takes me to the container home. That was, I think, the last video at the point I am recording this that I am putting up on my channel. Yes, I know it's Wednesday, and I normally do upload on Wednesdays, but I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But anyway, so I get to the container home, and it says, okay, look for evidence. So I'm looking around, and apparently, most of the evidence is, graffiti of a no mental llama and some other stuff. Somebody apparently sprayed graffiti in the house, and so I had to actually look using a scanner for some evidence, which was actually on some of the decks that I didn't furnish that were on top of the containers. So this guy's going around, just trashing the house, going up ladders. But one of the things that had to be dusted for fingerprints was this base game statue of this little hen sitting in her nest full of eggs. And if you guys had seen that video, you will know that I had put that on, a bookshelf that was kind of not up in the air, but it was on a wall. And so I had to use the red shelf to actually position it there. Well, the thing was, my Ty couldn't reach it to dust the fingerprints. So he could only get 4 pieces of evidence when he really needed to get 5. So because of that, I wasn't actually able to finish the assignment. Okay, I'm going to pause the story for a second to tell you about what you just saw. My original idea for this kitchen was to put one wall of, cabinets and stuff, because I was trying to do something a little bit different with each kitchen, and, I always do the corner cabinet things. But this time around, I figured, why don't I just do one row of cabinets against the one wall, and then we have, I don't even know what the heck is going on, just an island in the middle of the thing. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. Well, I tried it, and it turns out the island did not work all that well for my poor Sims. I didn't get around to playtesting it, but I did look at it from a bunch of different angles for a while, and I'm looking at this, and I kind of figured that there is no possible way that any of my Sims were ever going to be able to get to the oven, because, I wanted the oven to be in the middle, and it didn't look right, and I wanted to put the little room dividers from Get Famous in between it, and it would have looked really cool, but just not for this kitchen, you know what I mean? And it was just unfeasible, so I had to completely redo it. But anyway, back to the story I was telling you at the container house, at the crime scene on the container house, the graffiti crime scene. Here we go. But I'm just thinking of, why would this game do this to me? Can't it, if it can be able to tell where objects are, even if you can't normally within the limits of the game place them places? Because, I've seen when people, download lots that have used, the tool mod, which is take objects off lot, in case you didn't know. But when I saw objects that, use the tool mod, or not when I saw them, oh my goodness. When I heard that when you download those lots, the objects stay twisted. So if the game can figure out all of that, surely it can probably figure out that this object is way out of a Sim's reach, so it shouldn't be able to put, different things that you need evidence there. Well, of course, I know as well as anyone that has a computer science degree that that probably wasn't programmed to the game if that was the case. And so it basically left me unable to do the job. So that's something that the Sims team definitely needs to work on. Now on to some housekeeping issues. And you guys, this is not an announcement I really want to make. In fact, it would be great if I didn't have to make this announcement. But I do, because my mental health and my motivation and stuff has been fluctuating a lot as of late. And I really didn't know what the heck was causing it, because as a lot of you know, I do suffer from mental health issues, and I'm not really quiet about that, simply because, you know, I want you guys to know what is going on. I don't want to completely disappear and have no explanation for it, and I don't, you know, I know that a lot of you guys in the Sims community also suffer from these same things, and so I want you to know that you are not alone. I have to go through this stuff too, and I know it's not fun. I know it's not desirable, but it's something that I have to deal with. I was not really given a choice in the matter. That being said, I'm also full-time right now. I do not have a job or anything else I have to keep myself occupied. So a couple weeks ago, I started feeling kind of discouraged, kind of not motivated to continue, which is a problem because, like I said in another video, it's like, if I don't do this, what do I do? I mean, I guess I could go back to some periods and I don't know, you know, I'm going to start from the beginning, okay? I have not played The Sims constantly from the summer of 2004 till now. I have gone through on periods and off periods. And basically I've done it on and off, and there are different reasons for that. At some point it was a mental health issue. And I did describe that a little bit in my That Fateful Night storyline video that I did for you guys. I know a lot of you may not have been interested in it, but I do talk a little bit about what was driving my on again, off again Sims playing there. But a lot of it was also because I had, at the time, other responsibilities. I had school up until, you know, 2015. And even after that, that was the main reason I didn't play The Sims 4 when it first came out, was because, you know, I was in my last year of college. And because of my mental health issues, that was 2 years later than it really was supposed to be. But I really don't regret taking the extra time at all, because I did get to graduate with, you know, my closest friend when I was there. And then she never spoke to me again, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. Anyway, so basically it was, you know, after that I was kind of like an on-again period with content with That Fateful Night, maybe off with playing The Sims, but on with, you know, working in That Fateful Night. I was drawing the pictures, I was doing the, whatchamacallit, doing the stories, and then at about, you know, in March of 2016, or February earlier anyway, like at the very end of February, I found out that I had a bladder infection, so I had to take antibiotics, and that March I just felt really, really bad on these antibiotics, and of course I had to keep taking them, because if you don't take antibiotics until they're all gone, you have a chance of, you know, getting a strain of bacteria that is antibiotic resistant, and then you can't get rid of it. But anyway, so I had to take them all, and then I just wasn't motivated to do it anymore. I didn't want to do it, so I didn't do it. And that was basically a period of me. I was going through a lot of stuff. I was losing the person I considered my closest friend. It was, you know, somebody that basically, she was, you know, she got engaged that year, and I wasn't invited to the wedding. And that would have been, if our situation was reversed, I would have asked her to be my maid of honor. So, yeah, that was a pretty bad blow I was dealt. But anyway, I was dealing through that, and I just didn't want to do it. And then through 2017, I was doing Pokemon videos on YouTube. And then after about February 2018, my dad thought it would be a brilliant idea to upgrade the operating system on the computer I use to edit videos. And I was using a program that I had back in high school. Now, I graduated high school in 2009. So this was a pretty old program, and when my dad upgraded the software, it pretty much was rendered useless. I had a lyric video that I was working on that I was almost done. I had almost finished it. I went to do the final lyrics, and I couldn't even open the program. So that was, oh my god, I just completely got just so discouraged, so ticked off, and that I didn't want to do, content anymore. And I'm like, okay, oh my god, what do I couldn't for a while until my dad got Final Cut Pro. But anyway, after that, the ComEd was doing some maintenance to the power, and so I couldn't really play any games because the power would be out for who knows how long. So I decided to get back into drawing and That Fateful Night stuff, and that's what kind of got me back on That Fateful Night track and what eventually would become Trouble in Paradise. I feel like this was a sign from the universe telling me that I was on the wrong path, and it was just kind of trying to put me on the right path. The universe did it again in March of 2019 when I turned my computer off, but when I went to turn it back on, it didn't boot back up. So I pretty much lost everything. I lost 2 save files in The Sims 2 and The Sims 4. I lost my ability to play The Sims 2, and I lost the Let's Play I was working on. I lost everything. It was just not pleasant at all. But I did get to spend the next month and a half thinking, what direction am I going to take my channel? And that's when I got the idea to do Trouble in Paradise as a mainly machinima series. Now, it's been over a year since then, and I've been pretty much working on this stuff nonstop. And so it would make sense that my motivation has been kind of waning in the last couple of weeks because I've also been trying to experiment with some new treatments and stuff like that. However, that's one thing. Number 2 is that it probably is depression. I'm thinking what happened back in 2016 was depression because, a classic... guys, depression isn't always you feel sad all the time, okay? No, that's not it. Depression is like a whole mix of stuff. Part of it is you lose interest in stuff you once loved. And yes, I have been feeling that recently. That could very well be depression, which again, go back to the treatment. Or it could be a sign from the universe that I need to take a different path. I've kind of neglected That Fateful Night writings a lot, and so maybe I want to focus a little bit more on that for a while and just do builds for a bit. Or maybe I'm starting to think that maybe I just need to take a break from the constant Sims playing, constant building, constant working on this stuff. I don't really know what it is. My mental health was not great yesterday. I just wanted to sleep all day. I didn't really want to do anything. And that lasted until this morning. So this morning I kind of took a nap, but when I woke up, I was raring and ready to go. I wanted to build. I wanted to get some work done. So I really don't know where I stand right now. So that being said, I do have videos because I do record ahead. And so this announcement, until I figure out what the heck is going on and what the heck is, driving this, I'm going to be changing my schedule to 1 video a week. And that video will be on Fridays, with the exception of July 16 and July 30, because those are special videos. But other than that, it will be 1 video a week on Fridays. And that is so that I can still continue to have a channel, because you know what? I don't want to give up on my channel. I don't want to give up on creating content, because this is something I put my heart and soul into, and I really don't want to give up on That Fateful Night or Trouble in Paradise, because that is who I am. That is the whole reason I started my channel. That's the whole reason I have a channel. These builds are just to kind of, have some content out that people watch and to grow it. But, I really just want That Fateful Night and Trouble in Paradise to prosper. And if that means that I'm not going to do the machinima and I'm going to do the written part and maybe do a machinima version of it later, then I'll do that. Maybe that's what it means. I don't know. I don't really know how I'm going to write stuff right now, simply because I don't have any desire to use that really old laptop I got back in 2012. That's an 8-year-old computer, and it takes forever to load. I want something that'll load quickly, like my computer in my office, so that it'll just work and I can start typing right away. Maybe I'll just do that. But at this point, I really don't know where it's going. It's just fluctuating so wildly, I can hardly tell. But until further notice, I'm going to be uploading once a week. Okay, guys, that is the big announcement. That is what I needed to tell you. I needed something to fill in this voiceover. And since we're almost done here, I only have a little bit more to go. So I'm just going to say right now, I am doing Kala's room. I did Ava's room before it. It actually is a room that could work for a girl or a boy, hopefully. I don't know how many boys like hanging down string flower lights. There are probably some boys that do like that. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to, stereotype everything. But this will eventually be able on... Bleh. But this will eventually be available on the gallery, and if you want to download it, you can tailor the rooms themselves for, other genders or other kinds of Sims that have other interests and stuff like that. So that'll be cool. And we're almost at the screenshots, so that is going to wrap it up for this video. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, I really appreciate you watching the whole thing, but I really appreciate you watch any amount of it that you possibly can. I understand that not everybody can sit through like a 20-minute video, so this one's like 25 minutes just about. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for supporting me during these turbulent times with my mental health and everything that is going on in the world right now. It really means a lot. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, which I sincerely hope you did, I would appreciate it if you left a like and or a comment, and I would also appreciate you subscribing if you want to see more. As always, you can follow me on social media where I will continue posting, even if I do end up taking a YouTube break. Sorry about that. I stumble over my words all the time. Does not help that Mercury is currently in retrograde. But anyway, you guys, follow me on social media. I am on Instagram at VisitJoan and on Twitter at VisitJoan Videos. And Twitter is going to be the place where I'm going to update you on all things my mental health related stuff. Oh my goodness, I really need to quit now. But anyway, you guys, follow me there. And that's going to be it. I'm going to be seeing you in the next video. But until then, bye everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay cool.